is. It's unlike any other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we say hi again, one and all. Brandon Gaudin here as we count you down to kickoff. And I turn to my partner, that's Charles Davis. And Charles, I know even a former defensive back like you can admire some of the receivers in the game today. And Larry showed us a couple that are very likely to stand out in this one.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to admit that I actually admire receivers. But with their acrobatics, with their speed, with their moxie, and the way they go up and get the football, they can change the outcome of a game in an instant.
Matt Ryan and the rest of the Falcon offense trotting onto the field. Their season ended in the divisional round this year, the playoffs. And for Matt Ryan, the numbers were still very good, but down significantly, Charles, from his MVP season a year ago.
Yeah,
and right away, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it, and he'll be down at the 6-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. And he's got his big receiver, Robinson, for the Jacksonville touchdown. Allen Robinson from 6 yards away. And the Jags have taken the early lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A phrase we said a lot last year, Ryan to Jones for a Falcon first down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 48 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. To return it is Corey Grant. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year. Offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he will take it on out to the 20-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Going for the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So they took a... shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And now it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal.
And the holder's going to keep it, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out, and the Falcons have taken the lead. And a special play there by the special teams. It's one thing to fake it. He ran it in for the score.
I think the special teams coach saw something on film in preparation for this game, told the head coach now's the time. He got the green light, and they worked it to perfection.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Jags taking over on offense here in a second. And what a season, Charles, it was for Jacksonville. Some people did like them as a dark horse coming into the year, and they really responded.
Heard recently at one of the, all-star games, college all-star games, a scout saying, well, heck, haven't they been the dark horse for the last 5 years coming into the season? And he seemed a little bit bitter, so I'm going to let him go on that one. But the point is well taken. They have been building towards this. Really good drafts, really supplemented in free agency. And, yeah, they were a dark horse, but they played awfully well. 11 wins, 2 more in the playoffs. I think right now they'd love to get Allen Robinson back at wide receiver and add another playmaking tight end.
First carry for Leonard Fournette. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs. First time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there's no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He went all the way back to Kurt Warner in, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. The Falcons averaged 34 points a game last year, tops in the NFL with that powerful offense, and they're already looking for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run here with Freeman, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter, and the Falcons will add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
They go play action here on 1st down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking downfield for Jones. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Freeman again. That good for 19 and a 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones from a yard out. And the Falcons will extend their lead. So 2nd and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. 2nd down is always kind of the, do they throw it, do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. That time a 6-play drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Bortles will try again on second down. to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he's got it to Hearns. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And they're not going to get a playoff here as time will expire on this first quarter. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. We're back to Santa Clara after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. It's caught right side, it's Hearns. And he's brought down. Bortles on the hook up to Hearns for the Jaguar first down. Play action. Now it's Bortles. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Throwing now is Bortles. A dump off for Ivory. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the second quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank. On first down, Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Myles Jack coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. On second down, Freeman. They find some up. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They begin with a run by Fournette. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
Bortles to throw on second down. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on fourth and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Brad Nordman now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
It really helps your play calling because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter. Now Ryan on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
On first and 10, it's Ryan. Room to run inside the 40. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. From the right hash, this from 53. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And their lead will swell up to 28. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Fournette, a first down carry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On play action, now Bortles. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. To go here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. Now Bortles throwing on second down. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the gun on third down, Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Into the red zone, it's Bortles. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Black 58, right. Black 58, right. Got four down.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Lambeau will put this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So no problems there with that one as they're able to put 3 up on the board.
Yeah, it's pretty much a winless night. There's only a very light breeze, so it's a perfect night for kickers. And like you say, no problems with that one.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Andre Roberts now to return it. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be knocked down sideways near the 34-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it's a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Falcons are really just doing what they want out there on offense. The Jaguars' defense hasn't been able to get stops, and that inability to get off the field is costing them time and time again. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Now following the fumble, middle of the field, the pass will be caught, and it's caught for the score as they put the first points on the board. Falcons lined up at the 48. Freeman's going to break into the secondary. He gone as he sprints to the end zone, as that evens the score at 7-7. First and 10, under pressure here, the pass is picked off. Allen's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Offense on the field now after the pick, and he capped off the 8-play drive with a TD. The Falcons up by a touchdown. Offense out now after the fumble. Freeman's going to dart up the middle, and this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Falcons on offense, first quarter winding down. Matt Ryan to his big play receiver, Julio Jones. And he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 23-yard line. Same drive, pass will be completed over the middle. And this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. Falcons lead balloons to 21. Now to early in the second. Freeman's able to get clear of everybody, and he caps off the 2-play drive with the score.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They go play action here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Throwing is Bortles. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. From the gun, it's Bortles. Caught right side, it's Lewis. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Bortles trying the option to the right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Bortles on the give to Fournette. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, you don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
Bortles now on 3rd and goal. And he's got his big receiver Robinson for the Jacksonville touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
And it's up and good. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And when these two are clicking, Ryan and Jones, and we've seen multiple hookups here in this one, usually their offense is clicking, and that's why they're winning.
Yeah, they tend to follow what those two do. They set the tone for either a good day or maybe a tougher day. And right now, we're seeing an excellent game because those two are finding each other. Doesn't matter where on the field, they're making plays.
Now a play fake here on first down. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Ryan finding Gabriel for the Falcon first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On first down, Ryan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Telvin Smith from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On third down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with his second touchdown of the night. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Here's Bryant for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Marquise Lee, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and the Falcons grab it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Another tough one there for Blake Bortles, partner. 2015, led the league in fumbles as a quarterback, had 14 of them. But you just expect that to get better with experience in the league and, of course, better support from his offensive line. In this case, though, he kind of reverted back to that year.
Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown. Yes. You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And, oh, a big collision there. He's hit and knocked backward at the 33. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a first down.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game. These two, they can break a team down through the air.
On first down, Ryan. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On first down, Bortles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brooks Reed in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
And that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
Here we go. Green 90.
Shotgun now for Bortles. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That's really nice coverage there. I'm not sure he would have gotten to the 1st down marker anyway, but boy, oh boy, did they blanket him.
Yeah, short throw, but he really didn't have many options. Had to force it in. Well, he didn't have to, but he chose to force it in somewhere. Incomplete.
Yeah, now it brings up 4th down.
Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Ryan. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be down deep into Jacksonville territory. A big gain of 39 on 3rd. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Coleman. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. This a 33-yard attempt. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Throwing on first down is Bortles. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Second down now after the pass completion.
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
To throw is Bortles. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Bortles. Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Now it's 2nd and 7. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Bortles again. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
From midfield, here's Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Strong left, strong left, strong left. Here we go. Green, 90. Green, 90.
Again, it's Bortles. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. The play fake to Ivory. Now Bortles. And he's got it to Hurns. Touchdown, Jaguars. Allen Hurns, 34 yards. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Lambeau to add on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight. Freeman. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Eight yards to go here on second down. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Running right, this is Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say goodnight from Silicon Valley.